Welcome to the Orta Know Better podcast. I'm Smarty. I'm joined tonight by Luke, and of course, our special guest this evening, Mr. Gylfi Einarsson. Welcome, Gylfi. How are you doing?
Thank you very much, guys. I'm doing well, thank you.
Good stuff. Good stuff. How's the what have you been up to lately then? And how's the last 12 months with all the COVID stuff been for you?
It's been it's obviously been frustrating as everyone else. But I have a business in the tourist industry now.
Oh, good.
A tax-free company that's that's really quiet now over the this COVID period. So, but hopefully things will get better soon.
And no volcanoes spoiling any sort of flights or anything like that in the future.
The volcano has been like a good surprise actually, because it's like it's harmless. It's not like danger to any towns or anything. So it's pretty spectacular to see it.
Yeah, we've been seeing bits of clips on the news and stuff like that. People getting quite close, and then there's lava spewing out of it. Just like, you don't get that in Leeds.
The Icelanders they bring in their like the hot dogs, and they make the hot dogs and the
just a few beers around the volcano.
Yeah. So I'm just waiting for some like big accident to happen. It's gonna happen.
God, imagine. So start off by telling us how you got into football, and then obviously ended up at Leeds United then.
Well, football was my main passion as a kid. So I've been playing since I was like 5 or 6 probably.
Yeah.
There's a little bit different circumstances that it is today. Obviously, we were training on this not on grass, but like some bad surfaces all the time. Things were doing really well. I was like my main club in Iceland was a club I always played for since I was a kid, and until I left to play professionally.
Right. Yeah.
So I went from Fylkir, my boyhood club, to the Lillestrøm in Norway.
Yeah.
Was there for 4 years, and then to Leeds.
So how did that come about?
How did that happen?
Yeah. Tell us about how it all went down.
Well, it was my time at Lillestrøm had been okay, but I hadn't been like not until the last year that was really like things started to explode, if you can say so, because everything worked out then. I mean, I scored I think 19 goals from midfield that season. So that attracted some clubs, obviously, in England and other places.
Yeah. So who did you deal with initially? Who did you start playing under?
When in Leeds?
Yeah, in Leeds.
Yeah, it was Kevin Blackwell.
Yeah, I thought it might have been.
I came just. I arrived in December 2004, so that's just like a couple of months. Well, half a season after the club was relegated, so it was a turbulent time for to be a Leeds player. But
wasn't the best time, I suppose.
Obviously it was a great. I mean, you can sense it. I mean, you were at a big club, but there was a lot of players coming in, a lot of players going out, and obviously financial situation. It was a good time, but a difficult one. I can imagine for the club.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm 35, so I'd never gone through anything like that. As far as I was concerned, Leeds United were a big club, and I'm sure Luke were exactly the same. We were considered a top 6 side, for basically most of the time I've been supporting them. Yeah. And then to go from playing the Champions League, then obviously dropping down the league, it would have been like, well, what the friggin' hell's this? But yeah, so you joined in December 2004.
Yeah.
You're making your debut on New Year's Day as a substitute for Danny Pugh for Crew Alexandra, I believe.
Yeah, Crew at home, yeah.
Yeah. And make 21 appearances for Leeds, bagging 1 goal against Burnley. Headed goal from the Aaron Lennon, I believe.
Yeah.
So what were it like then playing for Leeds? Did you obviously you enjoyed the Ellen Road crowd and all that sort of stuff?
Yeah, I mean it was unbelievable feeling. I mean, to play for Leeds was a big honor for me, and I enjoyed it. I enjoyed my time obviously a lot more. The first year and a half was good when I was fit and not had all of these injuries, and then I was in and out of the team. We had a good squad actually of players, and obviously we were unlucky. Well, when we lost the player final in 2006, that was a horrible day.
Is that Doncaster?
No, that was Watford.
Yeah, I was just gonna say.
Watford, sorry, Doncaster was a couple of years after, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Even worse.
Gylfi, while you were brought up in Iceland, just to go back to while you were at Fylkir, do Icelandics have a British football team that they all support, or did you have a look?
Everyone. I mean, the football in Iceland, the Premier League, it's like everyone is football crazy in Iceland. They know everything about English football.
Right. And who was your team growing up?
It was always Liverpool when I was growing up.
Right.
But I'm actually Then it changed. I used to. It was a good moment because my best mate, he was a massive Leeds supporter and still is. Right. And I remember the moment when I signed for the club. It was a big moment for him as well. So it was nice.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Did you ask for all your kit when you were there? Did you have to send him loads of kit back and that? All your signed shirts and whatnot.
Yeah, he always came over with me, so we went to a couple of games, and so he was well off with equipment.
Brilliant.
Yeah, some VIP treatment and all that sort of stuff. What were your fondest memory then? If you had a standout sort of memory? You know, if you were to pick one or two, what would
it was obviously when I arrived, it was like I didn't expect only to score one goal for the club. I mean, I should have done better, but I was also maybe not used to what do you say? My strengths were to get in the box and score some goals. That was my strengths, and I was good in the air. So I don't think the way I was used was not the best way to do it actually, because if you have too much defensive duties, it's going to be hard for you to get in the box all the time. Yeah, but I've no regrets. I had some options before I came to Leeds, but obviously it's as I said earlier, it's a great club to play for, and I had some really good time here, good teammates. But unfortunately, my career was really halfway through my Leeds career. My career was over because I had some hip injuries that was just that was affecting me big time.
A floating bone or something.
Yeah, and actually, and now in 2018, I went to Belgium, and I had a double hip operation, both my hips done. Yeah, wow. So I have like a titanium hip right now. So I'm every time I go to the airport, it's beeping.
Yeah, Just to touch on that, Gylfi, you say that you didn't feel you were used to your strengths. You weren't played to you say you were strong in the air and you potentially because I think I remember when you were signed, you were almost sort of molded or we were told that you were going to be the new Gary Speed type player. And do you think Kevin Blackwell had a lot to play that?
Don't get me wrong. I'm not blaming Kevin Blackwell for him. I didn't need more in Leeds. Not at all. I'm just saying my strength as a player was not to be on the ball and dominating games. That was not my strength. My strength was play simple, just get in the box and score some goals. That was really and I had some a box to box play.
Yeah. He had that effect on a few players. Did Blackwell? Probably one of the reasons why we didn't end up getting back in the Premier League, to be honest. But
yeah, well, it was okay. I mean, he had, but to be fair, I mean, he done okay. But we had a good coaching staff with him. We had Adi Boothroyd, who was now the under-21 for England, obviously. And we had Sam Ellis. He was a great character that he assistant. So we had some good guys there around the team as well. But we had good training sessions and that. But the problem is, and obviously, and there's so many games in the championship when you're not playing, when you're not in the team, it's difficult to get in the team if the team is playing.
True.
But but I thoroughly enjoyed my time in Leeds. No question about that.
Did you ever like explore the area and stuff like that? Did you ever have like a group of mates, going out on a night time, exploring the countryside?
Yeah. I had the whole entourage from Iceland coming over.
The entourage.
Yeah.
A fair stream of you.
Yeah, well, they enjoyed it as well. I mean, we had some great nights out, both with my teammates and then my mates coming over and that. So Leeds is a fantastic city. I can't wait to get back there and when this COVID thing is over to enjoy my.
I was going to say, have you been back? How many times have you been back since you were playing over there? Is it a regular thing, or is it?
I've just come back once. It was the Norwegian supporters club. There's quite they're massive actually, quite a strong group. They invited me for a game there.
Oh really?
I think it was 2014 or something.
Right. Okay.
We went to see Leeds on Ellen Road and. We even did some things, some sponsor thing, and what do you call it there in the
hospitality sort of thing.
Yeah, yes. Yeah. I remember I did something with Peter Lorimer there.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah.
With Luskos then, Leeds United Supporters Club of Scandinavia.
Yeah.
Luskos,
well, Norwegian. Yeah.
That's him. Yeah, believe it or not, this is going to sound really, really bizarre. We actually interviewed the chairman 2 nights ago for the podcast, Anders Palm.
Oh yeah.
Anders. So yeah, just so happens, absolutely by chance, that we've spoken to both of you in the space of 2 days.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, when I went over, I mean, they invited me over, so I took one mate from Iceland with me. And met these crazy Norwegian guys. They are absolutely out of their heads. Like, so there was like 3 days with just mayhem there.
Yeah, I can imagine. They do like to go a little bit crazy, don't they?
It was a great time.
Ah, great. Do you still play, or have you hung up the boots, so to speak? Do you play for?
I retired in 2011.
Yeah.
Just because of the injuries, and I actually after I went to Norway again after Leeds, so I went to Brann in Bergen.
Brann, yeah.
Played there for 3 years. We played in Europe and played okay, and I had some good the physios and the treatment was really good there. So they kept me going for the 3 years, but I wasn't the same player as I used to. And I had to change my game a little bit. I couldn't be doing the things that I was doing before. But after that, I came home and I played for Fylkir again. But only 1 season. I couldn't even train. I just played the games and just that was it for me. It was like it's not really nice to be like when you're injured, you need like you can't really you playing 70-80%. There's no point, is it? So.
Yeah.
So after I hung up my boots, I couldn't really. I was really fucked, and I couldn't really.
Yeah, no, fair enough.
Yeah, I couldn't really play football anymore. So yeah, so I've just been keeping active, but not a lot of football for me. I do some commentary now. I'm doing the Premier League actually.
Oh really?
All right.
For the Seamen in Iceland, which has the rights for the Premier League, so I'm involved a lot. So I definitely follow the Premier League now, especially now with the Leeds being in.
Yeah, that's it. You've got a link directly to the Premier League now.
Yeah.
What's life?
Official spokesman now. There's a lot of Leeds fans in Iceland as well.
Yeah, good.
Yeah. What does life look like for you within now, Gylfi? What sort of, obviously you're still relatively young, 42. Yeah. Obviously, a footballer's career is quite short. I know you said towards the start of the pod you've got a couple of businesses. What are they, and what is that? What you spend most of your time doing then now?
Yeah, I own a tax-free company with a mate of mine.
Right.
So there's a lot of tourists. Normally, there's a lot of tourists in Iceland. So the tax-free is like, I don't know if you shop tax-free when you're abroad. It's a
duty-free type thing.
Yeah. No, it's not a duty-free. It's like in all the shops you shop. It's not at the airport. It's just like all the shops. You buy something and you get like the VAT off.
Okay.
Right.
So we do all that procedure, and so it's been okay. It's been doing well, but obviously with the COVID, it's been really quiet the last year. Yeah, I'm just changing diapers and that now.
Yeah, well, that's also a full-time job, eh?
It is, yeah. It is.
We both know about that one, definitely.
Yeah.
All three of us.
Yeah. Go on.
I have 4 kids. I have I have twins, a boy and a girl. They're 13, and then I have a little boy who's 3 and a girl who's 1.5.
So you had that gap. You had that gap between the eldest, you had the twins, and you thought, "Oh, this is great," and then you decided, "Oh, well, life's going too well at the moment."
The oldest 2 are with my previous wife, and
all right, okay.
So,
any of them going to follow in the footsteps of the father?
Don't know. We'll wait and see. We'll wait and see. I mean, everyone. The 2 oldest, my boy and the girl, they play football, and they're good. They're decent. Good. So we'll have to wait and see. No pressure.
No pressure.
We're signing up for the academy.
Yeah, what's the standard of sort of? I anticipate because of the setups and things we've got in the UK that it's probably easy to become a really good footballer in the UK. What's the amateur setup? Because I know you said earlier on that you're playing on pretty much any type of ground, whereas obviously over here we've got 4G pitches for kids nowadays and that sort of thing. Is it a lot more difficult, do you think, then to become a good footballer over there in terms of the levels of coaching and the pitches you're playing on? And
in the old days it was. You become a professional because of your mentality and the way you look after yourself and the hunger to get to become a professional footballer. Because obviously we were way behind everyone else in terms of facility and that. But now it's really good. We have these indoor halls and like the football. It's really good. So my kids are spoiled if I compare them to my upbringing.
Yeah, absolutely.
And you can also see it. I mean, I'm sure you followed the Icelandic national team. And,
absolutely, yeah.
We can't really help it when they knocked us out of the bloody.
Yeah, I was there. That was a beautiful moment, boys.
I was going to try and keep that quiet. To be fair.
I mean, yeah, we had that the most of the lads who were playing that team, they're still playing, obviously. The Gylfi Einarsson and Goodmanson and Burnley and all these guys, they have had a fantastic career. They were like the golden generation for Iceland. Yeah. So we had like 7 or 8 guys just coming in and molding a team, and they are like the first like proper generation to be, because they had a good what do you call it, a football upbringing, like good facilities and everything they needed to become good footballers, not just a couple of headbangers as maybe myself and a few others.
Well, it all like I say, it's all molded into one, and it's great. The fans.
But I think you need to mix it up as well. I mean, our upbringing, we were playing in the snow with our wind in our face. It also toughens you up a bit. I think you need to mix it up a little bit. I'm always having a go at my kids as well. You'd say, you have it too nice. You go into the indoor halls and play football, and it's warm and cozy. I think you should really mix it up a little bit, so it's not too comfortable.
We were talking about that, actually, something quite similar, Gylfi, the other day on the main podcast about the under-23s nowadays and how they're on so much money that they don't actually go out and and do it the hard way and play against blokes in Sunday League football on a crap pitch, for instance, in the freezing cold, and they're very much sort of spoon fed to become a professional footballer, and it almost is a bit of a deterrent for them, because it actually holds them back from that physical contact and playing against somebody a bit bigger than them and kicking them about a bit on a weekend. So yeah, I think you're quite right, and I think, to be fair, it's probably not just Iceland. It's probably the UK as well. The football's changed, hasn't it, James?
I remember when I was at Leeds. Obviously, Leeds had a fantastic academy, and very nice, the academy lads. I mean, great footballers. But I mean, what do you think? Maybe 3% of them become like a proper players. The rest of them, they were really spoiled as well because of the facilities in Thorpe Arch and everything. It's like fantastic and top notch. Yeah. And then they go and they play for like the lower league clubs, and it's can't be a little bit of tough for them to change to that environment.
Yeah, I think a lot of them go down to the sort of the lower league teams. We've seen a few with recently. Like Alex Moe, he went down to Division 1 and went to Barnsley, and some don't, like Lewis Cook. They went up to to the Premier League with Bournemouth, and Charlie Taylor with I'm talking recently.
I mean, I think in general, I mean, Leeds have produced unbelievable like talents, a lot of players. I'm just saying the volume there. Not everyone can play at the highest level, because most of these guys, they had to step down from Leeds, even though we were in the Championship or in League One. I mean, the club was such a big name, and they had like a fantastic like surface playing training facilities and everything. So yeah, that could be difficult. That's why you have a lot of respect for like the players who work themselves up from the lower leagues to the Premier League. They're quite tough when they've done that.
Yeah, absolutely, definitely. We've got quite a good crop of young talent coming through at the minute. Actually, I think most of the signings that we made, especially once we got promoted from the Championship, I'd say a good 50% of them were for the academy. Well, they say the academy, the under-23s, and development team and stuff. Yeah, there is some great lads. Gylfi Einarsson, and just to name one. Definitely be knocking on the door, hopefully in the seasons to come, to kind of make their way into the first team or whatever.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, it's always enjoyable. I mean, you know that as a Leeds fan yourself, it's always special for any club when they bring in their own players, homegrown players. I mean, it's always special, and Leeds have always produced good players, and they will always continue to do so.
Yeah. Well, look at Calvin Phillips now, playing for England. Sky's the limit for that lad. Hopefully. Yeah, I'll see if the West Ham fans don't get stuck into him, though. That is, I suppose.
When you left Leeds, Gylfi, you left 2007 due to injury and things. Was the head coach manager, was that Dennis Wise at the time then?
Yeah, Dennis Wise had taken over. That was actually the season before. I think Kevin Blackburn was sacked in 2000, wasn't it?
2006, I think.
Yeah. So he took over. I was injured when he took over. There was a lot of things going on there, lads. I could write a book just in my time there with what happened there. I mean, some crazy stuff going on.
Yeah. Bates owners then, was it?
Sorry?
Was it Ken Bates the chairman then, or was it still Risdale?
Yeah, Ken Bates. Ken Bates was there. Bates. So we kind of knew that Wise was coming in, because he was like Ken Bates. I think he's like his second dad or something. So
there was a definite Chelsea connection there, wasn't there?
Yeah, it was. Yeah. But he brought in. I didn't agree with everything Wise did, obviously. But Gus Poyet was a nice fella.
Yeah. Yeah, I would have said that. From a fan's perspective, I would have said probably exactly the same. That Wise was a bit of a dick, but Poyet was actually all right. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. I'm sorry to use those words a bit loosely, but that's how it sort of looked like.
Don't be sorry. That's not a problem. But I think with Dennis Wise, he never really had a chance with the Leeds supporters. I mean, they hated him from day one.
Yeah.
I mean,
did that emulate into the dressing room at all?
Sorry?
Did the players kind of pick up on the fans' reaction to Wise coming in, and obviously with him being a Chelsea fan and Leeds and Chelsea having that history and that kind of mutual hatred for each other?
Yes, we were aware of that, but he was just doing some strange. He wanted to fight some players, and
really.
Yeah, I have some good stories.
Feel free to tell him if you want, Gylfi. Open forum.
Well, I remember I have one funny story with Gary Kelly. Is we had a team meeting, and everyone was gathered in the in the video room, and he was just Dennis Wise was just I think it was like a couple of games since he took over and we'd lost or something. He was not happy. And he was having a go at everyone. He's like, he went to like, you're not running, you're shit, you're just this and that, da 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 da. And then he came to Gary Kelly, and he said, "And you Kels, you come in with your big car, your big belly." He didn't think he was as
really
fit, and your big wages, you're 28 grand a week, and you do nothing for me. And Gary Kelly just puts his hands up and said, "Actually, Gaffer, it's 30 grand a week."
Oh, really? That's why we love. What a top bloke he was.
So I couldn't stop laughing inside, but I didn't want to let it out. But it's just everyone was just pissing themselves. But in the same meeting, he was saying something to Jonathan Douglas, a good friend of mine, the Irish, tough midfielder. Remember Dougie?
Yeah, I remember him.
And he was saying that Dougie had been saying something behind his back, and Dougie said, "No, I definitely not. You're just wrong." And I said, and Dennis Wise was just like, "Yeah. You've been saying something about behind my back, and da. And they went back and forth, and then the things got a little bit heated, and Wise said, "Yeah, you wanna take it outside?" And Dougie just stood up and went outside and said, "I'm waiting in the training ground. You just come out. I'm waiting." He went out, and he waited in the training ground, and Wise didn't show up.
Yeah,
I'm not surprised. He's a bit of a big lad, Dougie, wasn't he?
Yeah, but I mean, but obviously, every manager has his own style, and I mean, he Wise he had his way of doing things. I didn't agree. I mean, he tried to get rid of a lot of first team players, too many in my opinion. But I mean, I don't hold any grudge against him. I'm sure he's a good guy, but I don't think he was the right man for Leeds, to be honest.
No, I think that showed as well, didn't it?
Yeah,
it didn't last too long.
Yeah.
Yeah, so what we tend to do, Gylfi, and I hope you don't mind if any of these are just, if you don't want to answer any, by all means don't. I'd just like to every other guest that we get on, just give 5 quick questions, and I just want your first answer that comes to your head. So it could be anything. If you don't want to answer it, just sort of
nothing too bad.
Cut it out.
Don't worry.
No. So first question, first answer that comes to your head. The best player you've ever played with?
In Leeds?
Ever?
Anywhere.
Good Johnson.
The best player you ever played against?
Simão Sabrosa in Portugal, in Barcelona.
Oh, really?
Nice. Is there anybody
Zlatan,
who you...
maybe?
Zlatan, yeah. That's got to be a shout. Yeah. Is there anybody who you really dislike within football? Is there anybody that you took a real dislike to and don't like? You hold a grudge against?
Yeah, a lot of players. I remember we played a cup game against Blackburn, and I got a red card for two bad tackles on Robbie Savage.
I was hoping you were going to say this.
No one.
I didn't like him. I had my mind up before the game. I was gonna do him, and then we were.
No one could blame you for that.
We were 3-0 down or something. And I just said, "Okay, right. I have to go for it."
So. Brilliant! What a story. That's just. In fact, you don't even need to answer the rest. That's all I was hoping for.
That's 2-foot Robbie Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you rather Iceland win a World Cup or Leeds won the Premier League?
Iceland win the World Cup, lads.
Absolutely, yeah. Can't get
Yeah.
second guess.
I have to be honest.
Absolutely, yeah.
And then I've actually got 2 more. So I haven't got 5. I've got 6. Who is your all-time hero?
Well, it was always Maradona when I was young, so I have to go with Maradona. That was
Great
the
answer.
king.
Good choice.
And then the last but not least, if Leeds could sign any player that you're aware of that they haven't got their eye on, so nobody obvious like Haaland, who would you suggest that Leeds had a look at?
Like realistically, or just anyone?
Yeah, realistically, anyone.
That's a good question, actually. I would like to sign. Harry Kane. Let's have Harry Kane on.
That would be a decent sign. Do you think he'd push Bamford out though?
It'll be 50-50. I mean, it's a long season. We need more than one quality striker in it. So
yeah.
So they would share. Everyone would play some games, but I really like Patrick Bamford. To be honest, he's done tremendously well. Especially when you think about, and I know the fans were not loving him in the championship, but I think he's won over a lot of people.
Absolutely, he's silenced his critics, so to speak, as
well.
Yeah,
and he's not like, and he does it in his own way. I mean, he's not the toughest in appearance, but he is really. I mean, he does a lot for the team, not just score goals. I mean, he's the first man in the press and to pressure the ball, and I think defensively as well is really important for Leeds.
Really selfless, isn't he? He's really selfless. He puts his.
He's a good team player.
Yeah.
But my favorite guy in Leeds is Stuart Dallas, though.
Yeah, great. Another great effort. Another great shout. Another great shout. And this isn't on this list. I just thought that as we were going through. Having watched Leeds quite a bit for the TV channel that you work on over in Iceland, where do you think Leeds need to be strengthening up in the summer to have a serious challenge to be finishing higher up the table?
I think obviously. I mean, it's hard to really judge, to be overcritical of Leeds, because players they've given us so much joy, even for the non-Leeds fans. They've given football so much joy. I mean, the way they play, it's the most entertaining football in Premier League, no question about that. I mean, obviously Man City are okay too, but what frustrates me a little bit with when I watch Leeds, it's all the goals that they concede from set pieces. That annoys me. They need to be a little bit more tougher there, to be like when they're marking the players and corners, that we don't want to be letting in these easy goals. So I think we need a proper John Terry like centre half. I'm not. Liam Cooper is a good player, but I think just if you're saying that we're going to push on to be a top club. I think Laurent is a good player, but I think he's really good on the ball, playing out of the defense and that. But he needs to be a little bit tougher as well. So I think we need a good central defender and a left back as well.
Agreed.
Yes, absolutely, 100%.
But and I mean, we need the quality players in defense, and we need a quality left back. We need a quality midfielder as well, to just for the squad, and one more striker at least.
I'd agree with that.
But he's done fantastically with this group of players. I mean, a lot of these players, you would say before the season, they're championship players. You would say that, but nobody's saying that now. I mean, they are Premier League players as they're playing.
Well, within the rights as well, they've earned that.
I mean, what defines a good manager is you get the best out of your players. That has to be the main thing, and he is doing it, and more so, he's building a proper team, and just happy to be watching them at the moment.
How do you think you'd have fared under Bielsa?
I don't know. I think I would be okay. In my prime, I would be okay, because I could run. I could run all day. That wouldn't have been a problem. And but I wouldn't have been good enough for this Leeds side, to be honest. But I don't think. But yeah, I could have been a good squad player for Piazza maybe.
You say that, but I remember you being quite an active player, and like you say, you used to put yourself around a little bit. Like you never know. You never know.
Well, the thing is, boys, in football is a matter of confidence, isn't it? When I was, I can tell you that when in my best season in Lillestrøm before I came to Leeds, I was flying. The Norwegian league is not as bad as a lot of people think. It's actually okay. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not probably. It's a little bit below championship. It's still a decent league. And I was absolutely flying that season. I was scoring from everything. It was, I think I scored in 8 games in a row. We had a cup game against Rosenborg. I don't remember if you remember Rosenborg that year. They were in the championship. So I scored a hat-trick there. We won 3-2. I went home. We played Italy, who became world champions. We beat them 2-0. I scored 1 and set up 1 for Eider.
Wonderful.
So, and Buffon was in goal. So I mean, I could have been a lot better player than I was. I think I was unfortunate because of the injuries.
Yeah.
But my expectation when I came to Leeds, my confidence was really high. But therefore, I'm a bit sad when I think about my time at Leeds, because I think I could have done more and especially scored a lot more goals.
I don't think you should be sad. I think the players have every respect. The fans have every respect for you as a player and your time there, and they all know that when you did play, you did put that shift in. You were one of those players that wouldn't, like James said, you wouldn't back out of a challenge. You put yourself about. You got sent off against Robbie Savage. What more could we ask for? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I appreciate that. That's a good thing to hear.
Yeah, definitely. There's always these players that kind of pop up through history, and you're definitely one of them. It's like when I said to Luke, Gylfi's interested in coming on, and we were like, brilliant, nice one. It'd be great to speak to you. And like I say, it has been fantastic speaking to you. Thanks very much for coming and joining us and giving us your insight and telling us how you're doing and all that sort of stuff. Unless anyone else has got anything to say.
No, thanks for agreeing to join us. A bit starstruck, to be honest with you, because as I am with all the guests, just honestly quite believe it sometimes that we're actually chatting with people who've played on the hallowed turf of Ellen Road. So yeah, an absolute pleasure from my perspective.
The pleasure was all mine, boys. Thank you. So we'll have a pint when I come over then.
Agreed. Yeah, 100%.
Absolutely.
Thank you ever so much.
All right, boys.
Thanks again.
Gylfi.
Take care.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
Special thanks to ex-Leeds United and Icelandic international midfielder Mr. Gylfi Einarsson. You can find Gylfi on Instagram at Gylfi Einars. Today's episode was hosted by OKB regulars James and Luke. Thanks, as always, to @Emily Render for use of her artwork and graphics, and to Jen Jammin Sachs for the use of her music. Brought to you by Orta Know Better. Marching on together.